But I think that we should take that a step further. I think that if you're a guy and you're attracted to transgender women, not only are you not gay, I think that means that you're super straight, okay? Because it's like, yo, Kevin, do you like transgender women? Kevin's like, what? Do I like transgender women? Dude, as long as it's a girl, I don't give a fuck what kind. I'll fuck any bitch, dude. Black, white, cock, pussy. I don't give a fuck, son. If she's a girl,
Based.
I'm down there, dude.
To start with, this was an article that the Quartering, he's got this thing right now where he'll put something out there. He'll make a tweet about something and he's like, don't go give this person any attention. Just please don't even click on their links, which is definitely a way that somehow these people seem to get mass flagged. I'm not saying that there's a correlation. There just seems to be a bit of a, well, I can't say that either. You know what? It's a strange coincidence how that keeps happening. Today he tweeted this article out and said that, you know, it's obviously horrible. So I wanted to read a little bit of it. I'm just curious what it has to say about the Quartering and his own personal beliefs. Right? It seems to be well researched. There's a lot of sources and citations. Since December 2017, pop culture news has been overcrowded with the same narrative. Rian Johnson's Star Wars episode, The Last Jedi. Here we go. Despite a 90% approval rating from critics and an A cinema score, we can't stop talking about how The Last Jedi is a polarizing film that has decidedly alienated fans en masse and sent Disney's multi-billion-dollar juggernaut into an unsatisfactory direction. Creatives involved with the Star Wars projects have even commented on the hate against the film. For example, Ron Howard, director of Solo, a Star Wars story, took to Twitter to respond to comments blaming dislike of The Last Jedi on Solo's underwhelming box office performance shortly after the film's release in 2018. Actor Anthony Daniels, best known for his role as C-3PO in the Star Wars franchise, noted in his memoir, I Am C-3PO, that after encouraging the hate towards The Last Jedi on YouTube, he was genuinely sad that fans felt their loyalty had been slighted. And in the lead-up to the release of the final Star Wars film in the Skywalker saga, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, director J.J. Abrams acknowledged the animosity towards the franchise's 8th installment by suggesting that fans didn't want to be told that what they love about Star Wars, and it doesn't matter. The Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens director went on to release a film that, according to Time magazine, feels as if Abrams read every critical tweet in Rian Johnson's mentions for the last 2 years and answered every single one scene by scene. However, even though The Rise of Skywalker addressed the fan concerns, the Skywalker saga ended with a whimper. It obtained the lowest critic score of any Star Wars franchise, 51%, received a lukewarm reception from a general audience with the cinema score of B+. After its release, Disney and Lucasfilm seemingly turned away from the sequel trilogy to focus on new opportunities on the Disney recently launched streaming service, Disney+. To the majority of people who decide to spend 2 hours invested in the galaxy far, far away, the Star Wars sequel trilogy films are likely fun popcorn flicks that added little to the saga overall, and in the end, the sequel trilogy is an ode to the past, a chance to recapture the energy of the 1977 and reclaim those heroes in a time when the world was quickly passing by. Moreover, the failing of The Rise of Skywalker to provide a satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga for fans and casual viewers alike will likely make the sequel trilogy the least consequential addition to the franchise. While there's value in nostalgia and honoring the past, the reality of this particular situation carries with it something much more sinister, and that is easy for most people to miss. Gonna guess we're gonna enter kind of misogyny. The next generation includes women whose strength and resourcefulness are attributed to her lived experiences and not from the power of her lineage. A resilient fighter played by British-Nigerian actor John Boyega, who was recently fought against all odds to free himself from an oppressive regime, and the next leader of the resistance heroes played by Guatemalan-American actor Oscar Isaac. After the beating heart of the film is the courageous mechanic Rose Tico, played by Vietnamese-American actress Kelly Marie Tran. Rose's ceaseless compassion and drive to dismantle inhuman powers around her cumulative is the most critical line of the film, that to truly defeat those who seek to subjugate you. Your true power is saving what you love, not destroying what you hate. These themes and characterizations make The Last Jedi a film that dares to move culture in a more diverse and hopeful future, and in response, the film has been faced with an organizational hate campaign against it. Most publications discussing hate against The Last Jedi are quick to note that the backlash has manifested into racism, specifically against Tran and Boyega. Esquire has arguably gone the furthest to critique against The Last Jedi hate, attributing to the worst negativity to neckbeards, a belittling term for terminally online men whose hold misogynistic views. However, it is not enough to call these people fans simply by pushing back against The Last Jedi's themes for diversity or change, nor is it enough to label them trolls, crybabies, and often misused term incels. We need to talk about the fact that almost 40% of negative YouTube videos mentioning The Last Jedi are from radical right-wing or alt-right accounts. Whoa! Whoa! That's the first mind blow. I didn't know that. 40%! That's wild. Okay. These accounts have also dedicated their channels to hate campaigns against Captain Marvel, star Brie Larson, and former SNL cast member Leslie Jones, and feminist YouTuber Anita Sarkeesian. Man, it's all interconnected. It's great. I'm doing a documentary right now on neckbeards. It's called Neckbeard Incorporated, and it's amazing how much overlap there consistently is between the alt-right, all these different factions, Pizzagate, which evolves into QAnon, the meme magic stuff, which evolves, of course, into proliferation of Pepe, 4chan culture, all of that, which all funnels and siphons itself into the Donald Trump election and campaign and stuff. Like, it's wild. How long is it? I don't know. It's ballooning. I'm still writing the script while editing, while filming it. I'm guessing now it's going to be, it might be in actual breadtube length. I think it's going to hit at least like 40 minutes, but it might be an hour, maybe more. We need to discuss how the leaders of hate mongering against the film are radical conservatives, including Ben Shapiro, founder of the right-wing website The Daily Wire and former editor-at-large of Breitbart News. Breitbart is notably responsible for pushing alt-right ideology mainstream. We need to discuss how the hashtag campaigns calling out fans to boycott Solo: A Star Wars Story over the hatred of The Last Jedi are led by bloggers who spread white supremacist ideology under the cover of pop culture reporting. Wow. Boom, boom, boom. That's basically the quartering. That's definitely Doomcock. You know, that's Doomcock to a T. We need to discuss that the racist hashtag boycott Star Wars 7 hashtag aimed at the Force Awakens actor John Boyega, started by members of an organization designated as a hate group by the leading United States civil rights organization, yet was written off as merely internet trolling. This kickstarted a slew of racist harassment against Lucasfilm employees, authors, and actors that made Star Wars fandom a hotbed for the alt-right recruitment in the ongoing 21st century culture wars. We need to talk about how this so-called fan backlash is part of a larger movement to change and control culture and put to motion the former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon in 2014, and it was a movement that successfully led the far-right government shifts in the United States, UK, India, Italy, and Africa, leveraging 1 million tweets and a greater than 1,000, I don't like when Africa is just said as like a continent, by the way, like you can just mention some nations, it's not a monolith, and greater than 1,000 YouTube videos. This article will track the successful rise of the radical right-wing hate, white supremacy, and misogyny in fan spaces that started with Gamergate and leading up to the rise of Skywalker. This article is an analysis of the closely connected networks that enable hate to spread. Holy shit. Well, that's perfect then. This will do all the research I need. Oh, let's see who's in our list. Great picture of Milo, by the way. Not gay anymore, by the way. He's reformed. Reformed, you see. Never Just Trolls, the reactionary right-wing network behind the fandom to the alt-right pipeline. Steve Bannon, former chief executive of Breitbart News. Peter Brimlow, president, VDare Foundation. Milo Yiannopoulos, former editor of Breitbart News. Ben Shapiro, Breitbart News. Oh yeah, he was a former editor as well. Connected to Paul Kersey, contributed VDare.com. Richard Spencer, the neo-Nazi activist. Dave Rebian, the Blaze TV network host, connected to Jordan Peterson, author of 12 Rules of Life. Richard Spencer definitely attached to Jack Pasivic, who's definitely attached to Mike Cernovich, who definitely was one of the key propagators of Pizzagate, who definitely kind of sat back as Pizzagate evolved into QAnon as well, who's definitely was also super involved in Gamergate too, who is directly connected to Alex Jones, founder of InfoWars, Paul Joseph Watson, editor of InfoWars, comic artist Pro Secrets. Now this is someone I don't know. Geeks and Gamers YouTuber, and the quartering. Oh, that's the connection to the quartering. No way! It all makes sense now. Okay, I gotta research more comic artist Pro Secrets and figure out what that connection is. And then yes, of course, YouTubers. Paul Joseph Watson and Tim Pool work together to vilify Europeans. Timeline of outraged media. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh would probably be the start. He was definitely a pioneer. A horrible, horrible human being, but one hell of a fucking pioneer. Oh man, this thing is a treasure trove. Description of Gamergate goes into how it evolved into the Pizzagate through Cernovich. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at in the documentary that I'm making. It's nice that Milo just did a 180 just in time for this. No plans to see Star Wars 7. Why no white males, young white males, cast in the lead roles? Boycott Star Wars. I hate Star Wars. Mace Windu, that black... Oh god, I'm not gonna say what you're saying out loud. On VDare, Thompson writes, say what you will, getting people to think in terms of a movie is anti-white is a huge positive because it allows them to consider the notion of their own disposition, especially if they've never thought about this reality before. Yeah, this is just basically recruiting into the alt-right. That's like the exact template. White Nationalist Podcast, Red Ice is connected to that, Got News is connected to that as well. Neo-Nazi figurehead Richard Spencer. Oh man. And then I didn't know that it was so interconnected with Star Wars. Star Wars. How far does this go down? Okay, wait. Even with the obvious success, the narrative surrounding the film claimed that the movie is one of the most polarizing Star Wars movies ever released. This narrative was overwhelmingly driven by the film's Rotten Tomatoes score that currently sits at a rotten 42% and calls from vocal fans on Twitter to fund a remake of The Last Jedi. According to RM The Last Jedi, the account behind the campaign to remake The Last Jedi, the film is bad because the creators behind the film lost their way from the hero archetype. There isn't much explanation on what this means beyond Kelly Mary Trans Rose Tico failing to live up to this fan's expectation of being a badass pilot. In fact, many complaints against the film are aimed at its female characters. One fan illustrated when he released an edit of The Last Jedi with all the women removed. How long is it? What? It's 46 minutes. It's great. Not a single woman. You will not be tainted by the females. No, they will be nowhere near this script. What the fuck? Who wants the 46-minute female-free Last Jedi? From a data analysis perspective, there isn't much divisive about an exit review poll of an A and a movie that grosses as much money worldwide and as much the anticipated final installment of the Harry Potter franchise. Naysayers will claim that the movie is a failure because it didn't gross as much as The Force Awakens, but benchmarking a second film in the franchise whose value is partially tied to the fact that the franchise had produced no content in more than 10 years is not the best approach. However, the debate raged on. Yeah, they were saying like go woke, go broke so much for that movie when like they did not go broke. So for the sake of argument, once again, no metric is that of an internal bench tracker or the segmentation between Disney and statistically accurate on CinemaScore. I wanted to conduct a sentiment analysis of two major social media platforms, Twitter and YouTube. If this movie was truly polarizing, there should be a positive to negative sentiment ratio of 1:1. This means that for every positive tweet or YouTube video, there should be also a negative tweet or YouTube video. Additionally, if The Last Jedi truly divided fans, we should see a similar mix of these types of accounts spreading positivity or negativity about the movie. In other words, tweets getting the most likes or YouTube's videos receiving the most attention, and the search algorithm should proportionally come back with people of similar backgrounds. Backgrounds here is defined as affiliations, people with certain professions, journalists, communities online, YouTubers. We should see both positive and negative sentiments from fans rising to the top of the conversation, which is true. The Twitter analysis shows, to get a strong idea of the sentiment on Twitter, I analyzed over 1 million tweets from December 2017 to November 2018, collected various times between 2019 to 2020. See the methodology section at the bottom of this article for full details. I used two different methods to analyze. The positive to negative sentiment ratio at the top words of the volume, positive to negative sentiment ratio at the top tweets, defined as any tweet with more than 1,000 engagements. Both methods allowed for the manual correction of what constitutes a tweet as positive or negative. This means that the analysis is not left out of the simple matching or positive or negative words. The keyword matching method can be misleading because, for example, tweet containing the word liked would be classified as positive when matching positive keywords, yada, yada, yada. Methodology is down for anyone who likes that stuff. Nerds! Method 1, top used words by volume. A common practice is to text analysis to see which words are used the most within the sample. In this case, I was looking for words that were used more than 10,000 times. I'm going to accept my hypothesis that the positivity to negative sentiment ratio would be 1:1. I expect to see a word like love used as often as the word hate. However, that is not what I observed. After removing positive keywords that could be attributed to neutral conversations such as like or liked, remain positive keywords for the sentiment of a ratio consisting of the following: love, favorite, enjoyed, great, best, good, orgasm, amazing. Negative words used for the sentiment ratio include worst, hate, shit, and bad. Most used positive keywords make up 143,548 tweets, while the most negative keywords make up 67,246,000. This is a positive to negative sentiment ratio of 2.1 to 1, meaning the conversation about The Last Jedi on Twitter leans positive. Oh, surprising. It is important to note, however, that the tweets with negative keywords are more likely to have positive connotations. Tweets with positive keywords are most likely positive. For example, two visualizations below show all tweets mentioning The Last Jedi with top positive keywords and top negative keywords, respectively. The tweets have been separated into two groups. This just reads like gibberish to me. Just utter confusion and hate. Tweets mentioning The Last Jedi with top negative keywords, total number of engagements. In the second method, I manually classify the tweets for 1,000 engagements. Okay, I want to know who's behind these positive negative tweets. Almost 40% of the negative tweets are from accounts with a gaming, YouTube, or Twitch profile in their Twitter bio, or profile with only 10% of accounts tweeting positive things about The Last Jedi. When combined with the accounts who link their YouTube channel, but are not associated with gaming, almost half the negative tweets are from accounts who direct Twitter users to a YouTube or Twitch profile versus only 15% of positive tweets. This suggests that a considerable amount of hate against Last Jedi is generated on YouTube. Interesting. So it's directly into fucking chat. Every time I look over, it's still like 50 testicle title. There's been a lot of repeats, by the way. Y'all think you're so original. Some of these have been repeats. I've seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Testicle in every possible variation now. As a huge Star Wars fan, I can assure you that there's a bizarre alt-right atheist skeptic subcommunity with the anti-social justice warrior guys. Interesting. So if the account or affiliation was from a YouTuber or a gaming channel, they would have 32% of the tweets. And if they were alt-right or radical right as well, they would have 23%. Journalism 10%, other 10%, YouTuber non-gaming 10%, unknown 5%, author illustrator 3%, comedian 3%, podcaster 3%, and actor musician 2%. For all the negative tweets. So the majority are YouTube and gaming channels that were doing it. That really shows you how everything is directly correlated to them then. Aside from the Twitter accounts seeking to remake The Last Jedi, alt-right or radical accounts include the Rubin Report host Dave Rubin, whose show has platformed racist alt-right guests, and Ben Shapiro, whose show has platformed alt-right racist guests. Shapiro has been particularly vocal against The Last Jedi, is the former editor-at-large of Breitbart. Yeah, man, was he ever mad about it? Shapiro is known for denying human rights abuses, including his chain that members of the LGBTQ plus community do not face discrimination. He also believes that homosexuality and identifying as transgender is a mental illness. Dave Rubin, The Last Jedi just got even worse. Watching Last Jedi, but forgot my headphones, so just making up better dialogue. Luke apologized for tossing the lightsaber. Snoke admitted he's Darth Plagueis. Rey found out that she's Obi-Wan's granddaughter, and Finn and Rose just talk about how stupid the whole casino scene is. Further examples include hate against Rose Tico, push for an avidly pro-Trump Twitter account, and a writer for the Babylon Bee. What a surprise. A conservative satirical site that has been used to cover a satire to joke about the Capitol insurrection and make snide remarks against Black Lives Matter protesters. All roads lead to YouTube, an analysis. As established in the last section, I know almost half of the negativity about The Last Jedi from top engaged tweets or from accounts that link back to a YouTube or Twitch page. Therefore, going into the analysis, I was expecting YouTube to be more negative against The Last Jedi than what I observed on Twitter. YouTube videos containing the keyword The Last Jedi were analyzed based on the videos that provided to me in the algorithm. In other words, I was often only analyzing videos that YouTube would give me if I was looking to watch a video after searching The Last Jedi in the YouTube search bar. As expected, sentiment on YouTube leans slightly negative with negative to positive ratio of 1.6 to 1, 48 negative videos versus 30 positive videos for a total of 447. Okay, so then it explains the alt-right's recruitment problem. Wow, this article is thorough. I mean, I'm gonna have to read this in its entirety and probably use a lot of its same sources. Did an unbelievable amount of research. Using this range, I can estimate the amount of money the 20 anti-Last Jedi YouTubers from above have made in the lifetime of the channel. This does not include any money made from merchandise sales or Patreon subscriptions, which tend to be more lucrative than the average person can make off YouTube ad revenue. Number one, the quartering. Number one, estimated earnings, $1.3 million. Max estimated earnings, $2.3 million. Wow. And then a lot of like other popular names are popping up here. Overlord DVD, that's Doomcock. Keep in mind, the majority of channels have been active for only 3 to 4 years. The current average total earnings within this group is $308,966,000, with a median of $202,369. God damn it. That's so much money. You have no idea. The Serfs main channel makes like $124 a month in advertising revenue because nothing is monetizable on that channel because all of it is like highly political and usually calling this kind of stuff out. And then meanwhile, if anyone makes a channel that is dedicated to the manosphere take on pop culture, you are printing cash. Absolutely printing cash. Geeks and Gamers, a YouTuber who commonly decries Lucasfilm for their feminist agenda and problems with white people, has potentially made as much as $680,000 pushing pro-Trump sentiment, anti-feminist propaganda, and white supremacist ideology. YouTube still has such a fucking white supremacist problem. As much as they keep doing purges, it pops up in other ways. Like, how are you supposed to police this when, like, the Quartering will be the first to be like, my channel is simply dedicated to Brie Larson obsession to the point of being criminally damaging, and at the same time, it's about movies. Just fun. It's about movies. I'm just talking about movies and popular culture. Has nothing to do with politics. It's an apolitical channel, completely apolitical.
I don't want to date a trans person.
No, you have to, bigot.
I am super straight.
You can't just make up your own sexuality.
I just did. Off.
What's going on, everyone?
That's totally one of his things, eh? He did the same one when I got my own cartoon. But it was just like the slow moving towards the ear, like as if everyone's like, "Oh shit, what's he gonna say? What's the drop gonna be this time?"
Jeremy here from the Quartering, and a brand new meme
Totally apolitical, by the way. Everything about that was completely apolitical.
has arisen, and I'm here for it. Like, I mean, sure, it can be, all of these things can reach a level of cringe, right? But the super straight meme, it kind of made all the right people angry. What is super straight, you might be asking? Well, the idea is from how I understand it, birthed from an extraordinarily small group of people who think that you're some sort of awful person if you would prefer to, you know, have your partner be a cis male or cis female. Now, I want to be very...
He used the word cis. I thought he was going to say biological male or biological female. I was like, oh, for sure. But hey, could it be that he's growing? It could be growth. It might be growth. It also might be he's really, really afraid of his videos not being super monetizable, because that's another thing. Like, we already saw the amount of money that this channel can pull in. So could be that. Could be that.
Very clear.
Income growth.
This is not like a widely held view in the LGBTQ community that I know of, okay? The idea that, you know, most people that I know in that community thought this was a hilarious meme, but some people are extraordinarily angry.
Are you serious? Are you actually pulling the, like, my gay friend? It's okay. It's like, everyone I talked to thought it was really funny. Hilarious memes.
So the idea is that if you don't, that being straight, if you call yourself straight, but like me as a man, if I am not interested in being intimate with...
It's Blair White, by the way. It's got to be 100% Blair White. Yeah. That or Ariel Skrella. Like one of the two. Those are the two friends.
Somebody who was born a man and now has transitioned, that I'm phobic. Again, this is a opinion from a relatively small group of like far left activist members in the LGBTQ community. And by the way, I think that if I were in that community, these people are the ones that cause the most grief for that community. Because no, of course you're not phobic if you have a preference.
Please tell us. Yes, give us your wisdom. Oh, great cishet. Yes, from on high, from Mount Cis, he will decree.
Just like, you know, it's like we're back in the 80s now. Like, what? You mean me having a preference to be with somebody whom I choose to be intimate with is a problem? Well, so
you know what's wild, by the way, that this whole thing was effectively propagated by, you know, the alt-right on 4chan. That's the reason Super Straight SS, it lines up like that. They actually tried to reappropriate. And now they're saying that the whole thing is based on a TikTok video that came out well before this entire movement happens. And even though that's not how movements can co-opt and or reappropriate things, just see Pepe for an example, right? And we're going to look into the evidence of that because, again, I've brought a couple of receipts when it comes to this whole conversation. But it makes, like... There's nothing shocking about the fact that the Quartering is just running with this. He's parodying this, right? He's going to be one of the largest accounts doing this, and I'm guessing probably Tim Pool as well is going to do the same thing. The two of them have a long career on YouTube by normalizing a lot of the meme culture of the alt-right. So a lot of the things that the alt-right does in order to say and have plausible deniability that this is just a joke requires people like Jeremy and Tim Pool on the other end to take that and then be like, super straight, bro. I mean, come on, it's just a joke. Yeah, who are you to judge me? Judge me for my sexual preference. Now you're the bigot. That's actually exactly the playbook and exactly the way they want this to happen.
The super spice manifesto, I can't even say the word, I don't think. We're real. We're born this way. You cannot erase us. You will not deny our humanity. Who are we? Well, we are the member of this group. We are the SSLGBTQ plus community. This includes super straight, super gay, and super lesbian people. We are only attracted to the opposite or the same biological assignment.
Now, this particular form of bigotry isn't new, of course, and it's one that has been tried at different periods in time to different varying degrees of success. It's trying to be clever, wink, wink, and obviously drive a wedge somehow within the LGBTQ community is one of its purposes. And when they announced this more recent campaign, both on 4chan and then the success of it actually getting to trending, thanks to people, of course, like the Quartering propagating this out there. One of the things that was very, very important to them was, of course, to turn what they considered the intolerance that is perceived by homophobes on its head towards the other community, and say that if you don't accept us for this, then you are exhibiting the same form of bigotry that you've accused us of. And again, 100% parroted by Jeremy here. Like, it's just like he's following the script. Now, whether he's doing it consciously or unconsciously, that's a matter for him to know. But it's exactly as it's supposed to play out.
Some misinformation has been circulating that we are attracted to cis people only, but that's not entirely true. While it is the case 99.9% of the time, super straight men are, for example, still attracted to trans men on the condition that they only identify as men, but have not transitioned yet. If Ariana Grande were to come out today and announce that he identifies as a man, super straight men would still be attracted to her/him pre-transition. Therefore,
it's also unbelievably juvenile. Like you just it's just written by like a 12-year-old. So just to clarify, if Ariana Grande, who is hot to me as a super straight, right? Like, what the fuck? Do you actually address? Oh, you do. Okay, good. Bring up the
most popular social media apps with users. Yeah, geez, you really gonna blow a paragraph telling people what TikTok is? This was a case for super straight trend. It was originally started by TikTok user Kyle Royce, who made a now deleted video informing viewers that he had made a new orientation. He explained, "Now I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender women that are born women. So you can't say I'm phobic now because that's just my sexuality." The video started to pick up traction both on TikTok and social media sites like Twitter, with some supporting this new orientation and making the black and orange flag for it. However, as the term blew up, many TikTok users called out the original video and calling themselves super straight for being phobic. Many called it a mockery of the LGBTQ community and explained that the term only serves to invalidate trans people. No, it doesn't. You know what the term actually does? It exposes hypocrisy. What I'm about to show you is some of the hilarious backlash, people going completely over the edge over this and being completely unwelcoming. You see this super social media explains how super straight is transphobia. Why? I mean, why?
So I'll explain it. Everything that you've done, Jeremy, in most of your career and what people are doing in this action is to basically vilify and marginalize the community by making them seem other. So the idea of just being able to identify trans women as women, for example, you can separate that and try to drive a wedge in it through a whole bunch of different things. There's the campaign, of course, to keep trans women out of sports. There's campaigns to keep trans women out of bathrooms. The whole idea is that you are trying to separate. You're trying to drive a wedge. And this is yet another one. Now, no one on the left is ever going to tell you that you have to forcibly have a genital preference, which is, I guess, the most polite way to put this. No one is telling you that. No one has ever said that. What they're saying is the act of trying to defiantly stand in front of everyone and scream at the top of your lungs, "By the way, I am so hetero. I am the most hetero that even the suggestion of a cock will make me turn away." Well, that is kind of weird and also strange. And also is again, just vocally trying to drive a wedge in this. That's your idea behind this. And I mean, you're all doing it. You're following their playbook perfectly. Now, okay, I'm glad I got to the Pink News article, because some of the defense I've heard online right now, and this is a defense that is great for the alt-right, this is why it's part of their playbook to do these kind of things, is when they co-opt something like Pepe, they can always use plausible deniability for two reasons. One, the whole thing is a joke, right? It's for the lulz, LOL, super straights, you get it, right? SS, haha, that's all fun. And at the same time, it existed before. Like, we didn't come up with this. This wasn't us. We didn't invent super straight. It was this guy. It was this guy on TikTok. The TikTok video and his account have been deleted, but it wasn't us co-opting it. Okay, just so you know.
Do I think, like, okay, is this you, bro? This you, bro? Am I supposed to be down with your 37 gender identities, bro? But I can't have super straight or super gay or super bi? Now, there's lots of helpful charts to help explain. This is my favorite meme that came out of it. So here you have a straight person on the left, right? I don't want to date a trans person. No, you have.
You've already done this. This was the start. It was the opening cartoon. You're just doubling down right now. All right, I don't want to see your misunderstanding of this.
The woman or a trans woman. Here, the woman with.
You have all right, well, let me lay it out for you, fellas. I gotta explain this one. It's a little bit complex. I know. I've already explained it like 4 times in this video, but just so you know, here's the diagrams. Here's the actual diagrams.
From me, another.
Just gonna skip over him pointing out the accounts he wants everyone to jump on. Okay, so past the manifesto, but do you address the alt-right stuff? Okay, hold on.
This guy, like a far right person. I don't think so. And you see here, super straight hashtags anti-trans op. It actually didn't begin on 4chan's. It was birthed several days from 4chan's and Kiwi farms. Incorrect. This is actually incorrect. And you know what? Why can't they just live and let live? I mean, if we have to accept minor attracted persons.
Oh, that's the end. Okay, that's what you're gonna say. Well, I was hoping after you said incorrect, you'd be like, because. Like, normally when people make that statement, it's like, oh, incorrect, false. And now they change topics. Why, by the way, are they persecuting me? I'd just like to move on from that. Okay, well, if you actually wanted to use the defense that I've seen in other circles, it's basically, again, because this video by this individual came out in February. Right, that's been one of the reasons why the super straight movement has had plausible deniability this whole time, because it's been like, well, this video came out on TikTok in February, so it can't possibly have anything to do with that, right? But if we were to go on Snopes and check out their article on it, it does show a lot of evidence from 4chan, and there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that 4chan, as well as the alt-right, sorry, not 4chan, like, there's no such thing as like 4chan just controlling something. When I say 4chan, I'm referring to the alt-right using the 4chan message boards to propagate this idea. It was so prolific that they actually started the subreddit on Reddit, which Reddit had to shut down because it was pretty obvious what they'd been doing. So it's not as if this is like secretive in any way. These are public forums. There's discords about this as well. There's tons of logs about this. Like, it's very well documented how this was a specific strategy by the alt-right. That's one of the reasons why, once again, there's so many, like, it's not even subtle, the SS shit, like, it's not even, come on. But anyways, the defense has been, this video popped up in February. So obviously there's no other explanation for it, which again, all that would show to me is that means that someone else co-opted it. Someone else, like the alt-right was like, let's co-opt this idea. Here's the campaign. And I know that because they wrote that out. Like, this is exactly how we're going to do this play. You know, we're going to use this idea and then move it on from there. SS, of course, it's going to be funny for the winks, for the lulz. But here's one really awesome end to this entire story. It turns out it wasn't invented by a transphobe in February. It was invented by a trans woman.
I was talking to one of my guy friends. I've known this guy since we were kids. And he goes, hey, Robin, hypothetically speaking, if I'm finding myself starting to get attracted to you since you started transitioning, hypothetically speaking, does that make me gay? And I'm like, well, that's a weird hypothetical question to Facebook message me at 3 in the morning. You know, like, kind of, why did you just like one of my profile pictures from June? That was weird. Like, are you going through my, what are you doing? So I looked it up because I wasn't sure, you know, but so apparently most doctors would say that if you're a man and you're attracted to transgender women, that doesn't make you gay. But I think that we should take that a step further. I think that if you're a guy and you're attracted to transgender women, not only are you not gay, I think that means that you're super straight, okay? Because it's like, yo, Kevin, do you like transgender women? Kevin's like, what? Do I like transgender women? Dude, as long as it's a girl, I don't give a fuck what kind. I'll fuck any bitch, dude. Black, white, cock, pussy. I don't give a fuck, son. If she's a girl,
Based.
I'm down there, dude. Like, literally down there. I'll eat a girl's pussy. I'll suck a girl's dick, dude. I don't give a fuck. She's a girl. Transgender women, dude, that's like eating a box of cereal and getting a prize that you didn't expect, all right? Yo, I'm just kidding. It's not like eating a box at all right? All right. Yo, Kevin, you like pussy? You goddamn right I like pussy. Well, there's a porn actor named Buck Angel. He's a transgender man, and he's got a pussy. Did you eat out Buck Angel? What? That's fucking gross, dude. I ain't fucking gay, all right? I ain't gonna eat that dude's pussy because that shit's fucking gay. And I ain't gay, all right? Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna be over here sucking Christina's dick, all right?
So good. And that was years ago. 2017. 2017. Amazing. Wonderful. When I saw that revelation, I was like, that is so fucking awesome. In other news related to the quartering, by the way, and I don't know why this happened. Well, it's anticlimactic. God damn it. Not sure if anyone saw this. Reporting today, John Humbert. Records appear to show that this person's company got a federal PPP pandemic loan for $32,500 for just one employee. Interesting. Now, I know you've probably seen the quartering say before, like, they're coming after me and my many employees, all the people I pay for. You got to help me. Cancel culture is coming after me. Everybody quickly. I employ so many people. This is so important. Multiple times. If you are at home and desperate, you should vote Democrat. You vote for the promise of more handouts. You don't bet on yourself because the odds are stacked against you. My earnings have only gone up because of lockdowns. It's true. And his wife could be his employee. You're right. His wife could be his employee. It's also true. Yeah. Survey says correct. I verified this, and the abusive Gamergate scold took $32,500 for a handout from the PPP small business program because everything any of these assholes has ever said has been a load of shit. Should note that I verified what John reported about government records appear to show. I'm not a money genie and do not know what funds or did not ultimately end up in his bank account belonging to a shell corporation purportedly controlled by the Gamergate shithead. A bank hired the firm I work for to process PPP loans for forgiveness applications. I see a lot of shit like this. People and companies who obviously don't need it just milking it. There are a lot of small businesses that are legit, but every time I see one of this, I get livid. Yeah, I mean, on top of that, pointing out the earlier calculations of his earnings that was done by that journalist, it shows that he'd been making upwards of close to over $100,000 a year already. So he's basically taking small business program loans intended for people who are suffering under COVID during a time when he was racking in the cash as well. By the way, just to be clear, nothing the quartering has done is illegal. He's completely within his right to do this. It's more that it's hypocritical is the problem. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our glorious gods, Xander Corvus and I'm Rav, may you shower us with glory and smite our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we serve at your leisure, your grace. To our lords, Toefox, Bisexual Black Gamer, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeffrey Lamb, Alexander Thaler, and Hans Josephine, we shall carry your banner high into the fields of battle. To our Knights of the Round Table, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Kale Kotka, The Great Pudini, Bone Jenny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Thomas Barrington, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chitoro, Goofalankius, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Constance Joyce Lacheris, we lift our glasses of ale and we salute you.